Logia fruits, one of the rarest and coolest devil fruit category out there in One Piece. These fruits were once considered to be one of the strongest types and even invincible. Like, how do you even begin to fight someone you can't even touch? But now, after the time skip with the introduction of armament haki, their threat level is literally as low as Foxy's threat level. Despite having one of the most broken devil fruits, yeah, I'm looking at you, Foxy. In this video, I will be ranking all of these devil fruits. But before we begin, let me get this straight. This ranking will be about the devil fruit itself, not about the user. Maybe I can leave that for another video. So it doesn't matter if there's an unlucky Logia who got a shit user who didn't do anything good with it. It still doesn't mean that the fruit itself is bad. That said, let's begin with the very first Logia introduced in the whole show, the Smoke fruit, which is eaten by Smoker. Now, back in lockdown, Smoker was literally invincible. Luffy didn't have haki, so that means by just eating this fruit, you are way stronger than your average marine or average pirate. But if they have haki, then it's not gonna be that easy. You might even be cooked. Because what possibly you can do with just smoke? All it gives you is better mobility, since it literally allows its user to fly, and flight is pretty overpowered to have it. I will put this personally in C tier. It's not a bad devil fruit, of course not, far from it. It's just a bit underwhelming compared to the other Logias that are upcoming next. Alright, let's move on to the next one. The Suna no Mi, also known as the San fruit. It lets the user become and control sand, making them into a sandman, eaten by a Sir Crocodile. Now, this fruit can do many things, such as sucking the moisture out of everyone and everything. You can fly, you can cause sandstorms and quicksand, and in Crocodile's case, since he was fighting in a desert filled with sand that he could control, of course Luffy needed a sweet plot armor. But as good as it sounds, there are some notable weaknesses that literally anyone with common logic will figure out. Water. Like, if that wasn't enough, any liquid is his weakness. Like, imagine Crocodile is terrorizing Alabasta, his plan succeeded, and Vivi went to the beach, all sobbing, and she noticed that the water is solidificating the sand. Next thing we know, all of Alabasta is gonna fight Crocodile using some water guns. All that said, I'm giving this fruit a B tier. Moving on to the next one. Ooh, one of the most iconic fruits out there. It's so iconic that everyone tries to copy it. Take Luffy with his Red Hawk technique, Sanji with Diable Jambe. I am of course talking about the Mera no Mi, eaten by Ace, then by Sabo. It allows the user to basically control and become fire. We have seen Ace use this fruit pretty efficiently, from shooting fire bullets, destroying a fleet of ships in just one punch, to literally creating a sun. The possibilities are endless. It sucks to see Ace, a character with such good potential, die. Well, it's sad, but I hope that Sabo will show us things we haven't seen before with this fruit. But for now, an A tier. Alright, moving on to the Darkness Logia, the Dark fruit. Now, what we have seen with this fruit is that it can nullify other devil fruits somehow. I don't even know how it works. It can even absorb and release stuff. The user takes even more pain than normal. And maybe I've heard theory that it was Blackbeard's fruit that let him take the Gura no Mi, which is Whitebeard's devil fruit. And if that's true, then this devil fruit is busted. Not that it's already broken anyways. S tier. Oh, I think we potentially got ourselves another S tier fruit. The Rumble fruit, the lightning fruit. It basically makes the user into a thunder god, eaten by a literal thunder god that likes rapping and zapping. Now, the ability to control lightning itself is pretty OP, since lightning is a pretty destructive force of nature. Besides, the user can be as fast as lightning itself, which is like... Wait, how fast is lightning? It's some big ass number, but lightning is fast, that's for sure. Another bonus ability that it gives the user is coming back from the dead by just restarting your heart. It does have a counter, being rubber. But what are the odds of your exact counter arriving in the sky to challenge you? Like, the world is pretty big. S tier. Oh, Mother Nature, we got the forest fruit, the ability to become a tree. Pretty helpful actually. With this, we could literally stop global warming. This fruit is pretty OP. The user can suck all of the minerals out of you. They literally can even fly with a little flower. And what's more crazy, just like the last fruit, you can potentially come back from the dead by sprouting new seeds. You know, this fruit is pretty broken. How did the user, even with all this power, get scared by some haki that was coming from miles away? Yeah, I'm looking at you, Admiral Greenbull. But as for its tier, I'm ranking it high A. Now, oh, the Magu Magu no Mi, the fire fruit, which is fire but hotter. Way hotter. This lets the user to control and transform into the element of magma. It is said that magma itself is burning hot that melts everything in its way. It's pretty destructive no Mi. Or they even said that if a Kainu were a pirate, one piece, or more like a Kainu piece, would only last for an year. That's how strong this fruit is. Straight S tier. Now we go from hot to cold. The ice logia is pretty OP now that you think about it. Now for ice, this fruit has one advantage that even the best of the best god tier fruits don't have. And that is negating the common Devil Fruit weakness, water. Seawater. Like, we got a Delphi user riding a bike over the water without a care in the world. Now, just because of that, I want to put it on S tier. However, Aokishi did went up against Akainu, the Magma user, and he lost. So, is it fair to keep it in the same level as the Magma fruit? I don't know. I will just put it in A for now. Oh my, look what we have here. We have the power of a light bulb. Jokes aside, the light flute or the glinting flute was hidden by Kisaru, and we have seen so many interesting stuff he can do with it. For starters, he can kick his opponents at the speed of light, shoot laser beam, make literal clones of himself, and probably the best thing, traveling at the speed of light. Like, imagine fighting a guy who is as fast as light. Realistically, you probably won't even be able to land a solid blow on them. For that alone, S tier. Oh, this is an interesting one. The gas food, eaten by the mad scientist Caesar Clown. And this food can really be devastating if used correctly. Think about it. You are gas. Any kind of gas. Like, what's the most deadliest gas? Oh yeah, this. Like, Caesar can just turn into hydrogen sulfide, and God knows what would happen then. Besides, the user can literally remove the oxygen, the freaking oxygen of all things. S tier. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Yuki no Mi, the snow fruit, eaten by Monet, allowing you to turn and control into snow. Well, we haven't seen much of use of this fruit, but from what we have seen, the user can turn any rooms into a snowy storm. It can also create igloos, and they are as thick as an iron wall. It has a weakness to warm stuff, but that's how snow is. But I'm hoping this fruit returns in hands of someone strong so that we can see this fruit used to its fullest potential. But for now, a B tier. Better than smoke though. Either way, now we move on to a Logia most of you probably don't even know it exists, since it was the newest Logia introduced, and it's the Sut fruit eaten by Karasu, a revolutionary. Now, from what we have seen, Karasu uses it to turn into a Sut crow, and he uses them to transport and carry out revolutionary missions. He can harden it and use it as a weapon, and the user can even fly too. I don't think it is that good, but it's pretty useful for a revolutionary. A C tier. Alright, now to the very last Logia, we have the Numa Numa no Mi, the Swamp fruit, eaten by everyone's favorite caribou. It turns you into a swamp man. And what could this thing do, you might be wondering? Honestly, I don't even know. Suffocate people, I guess? But what I really like about this particular fruit is that it has a pocket dimension, allowing its user to store literally whatever they want. And it seems that there is no limitation to it. That alone makes this fruit incredibly useful if eaten by a more capable character than caribou. It's going in S tier. I would say it's better than a smoke fruit, maybe even better than a snow fruit, who knows. Either way, these are all of the Logias ranked by me.